Hello and welcome back. Today I'm going to take you through St George Ironman World Championships and who you might expect to see at the front of the race, or who might be coming through the race, and how the race might pan out throughout. And I'm going to use tryrating.com, so immediately I'll link that down below because I can't take any credit for this, but I'll also give my personal opinions on the matters. This is the men's seedings and expectations for the race. And as you can see, Christian Blumenfeld is the number one seed and expectation to win the race in 7:59 and 10 seconds, which is ridiculously close to the estimated time of his fellow Norwegian GUSTAV IDEN. And they do it in slightly different ways. It's expected that Christian will swim a minute faster than Gustav, but Gustav will then ride the minute back into Christian and then run roughly the same times, which is absolutely mental. If that is anywhere near correct, that is obscene. Just putting it out there, obscene. I mean, Patrick Nielsen, again, like, expected to finish a few minutes behind, 4 minutes behind. Like, that is ridiculous to think that these guys are going to be 4 minutes ahead of everyone else within the race. And, like, that's done with swimming in between Christian and Gustav, biking a lot slower and running a minute slower. So, like, the top three, if that comes to fruition, like, that's mad, because there's people down here like Alistair, Lionel, Sam Long is way down here, I think, if I remember correctly. Sam Long down here. I mean, it's understandable because a lot of these people are not proven. Like, Alistair has not really proven himself at this distance, and even in the 70.3 a few weeks back, he didn't perform, well, he didn't win. Like, he still performed very, very well. He was at the front of the race for the majority of it, ran really well until the last few K, and then popped. But either way, you can't count him out. I mean, I doubt he's going to be 9 minutes behind everyone else, or behind Gustav and Christian, but you just never know. Like, he's going to be in the mix until probably the run, by the looks of things, especially on these expectations. So who else can we look out for? Lionel, he's going to be swimming a few minutes slower than Alistair and Christian and Gustav. I mean, these guys at the front are used to ITU swimming. They're very good swimmers. Lionel, not as good. And it's an Ironman distance, so he's going to lose a little bit more time. But will Lionel get back into it? So 4:18 for the bike. He's expected to bike one of the fastest out of anyone, probably other than Sam Long. If you go a bit further down, Sam Long expected 4:22. And 4:18, I think it was, for Lionel. Yeah, so we'll see. Like, I know Sam's just come off his bike and he might be slightly injured or off his game, but you never know. I know that Joe Skip has had to pull out, so he won't be in the mix. But yeah, these times are interesting. So 2:53 for Lionel, 2:47 for Sebastian Kienle. Again, one of these Uber bikers, allegedly. So, what's my pick? I think the podium's going to be made up of maybe even Daniel Bakkegaard. He could definitely feature. It depends on how the race pans out and how people can ride with each other, or like use each other to the benefit. Like, the swim might blow up, but it's so hard to ever go against people like Alistair. Even David McNamee and Cam Worth, like, they're definitely going to be near the front. I wouldn't be surprised if David McNamee, like, was up near the front. He's been training with the Joel Filiol group. Like, I've seen some of his sessions. They look pretty good. Okay, I'm going to go with Gustav for the win, Christian for second, and I'm going to chuck in Dave McNamee for third place. Just putting it out there, maybe Alistair in the top 5. But yeah, let's see how it goes. This is roughly how I'd probably say that the race will pan out roughly like this. I think that Alistair's going to run a lot faster than the predicted run there, especially as he's training for sub-8, or sub-7 should I say, so he can't not be in the mix with these. For the women, it's Anne Haug that's expected to take the victory with over a 1.5 minute lead. Whether or not that actually happens, again, it will come down to how the race pans out, but 55 minutes for the swim. I know that Fenella Langridge is going to be up there with the swim as well. I think she got given a really good estimated time, 54:35, so she'll probably be swimming away along with Hayley Chura. So Hayley Chura, 52.10. So if they can pull out that much of a gap against everyone else, I don't think, especially Fenella, I doubt she's going to lose that much time on the bike. So 4:55 for the bike. Can we see Sky Monch and Catherine Matthews and Daniela Reef riding that much into Fenella? It depends how hard they ride and whether or not they expel extra energy on that. It's again hard to tell, but I would have thought that Fenella would have been able to hold people off on that bike along with Anne Haug. And then, yeah, running 2:55 run, I can't see Anne Haug not taking that and running away from everyone. Daniela Reef, again, she hasn't shown the form that she has done in previous years, so it's really hard to tell if that's going to be her true time. Like 3:07 for the run. That's based on probably current form. So, where are we? Fenella, 3:19 for the run. Can she run within, so that's 14 minutes, 20 minutes expected to lose. I think Fenella's going to be a lot closer to the podium position than's exhibited here. I wouldn't disagree with the top two there, Anne Haug and Laura Philipp. I think that they will perform really well. They're used to this distance. They are fantastic athletes. They've shown good form in the past few races. So my top three would be Anne Haug, Laura Philipp, and then Fenella Langridge. That's really rogue because there's a lot of fantastic women in between those three picks. But yeah, Heather Jackson again could do really, really well. She's gonna lose time on the swim. There's no two ways about that. 6 minutes by the looks of things at least. Yeah, they're interesting times. It's going to be far more dynamic than the guys' race. I think the guys' race is going to be a few people up the road, whether that be Alistair, Christian, Gustav. I don't think Christian and Gustav are going to be up the road, so to speak, because they're going to be a little bit behind, and I don't think they're going to catch necessarily on the bike, but they're going to enter the run roughly at the same time, maybe just slightly behind. It's going to be so measured from the guys' side of things, whereas the girls, I think it could be far more of a race, maybe slightly less measured and far, far more dynamic. There's so much differentiation between the swim, bike and run elements and who's good at what. So I think the women's race is going to be a really good watch. Likewise with the men, obviously, but especially the women in terms of dynamics of the race. Hope that was a little insight into who might be where within the race and how it might pan out. Thank you to tryrating.com for the information, and yeah, enjoy the race, and I'll see you next time.